Welcome to Soul of an Empath, the podcast that helps empaths to feel loved, seen, heard, and understood in all areas of your life. Now here's your host, Tiffany Cano.
Hello, and this is Tiffany Cano with Soul of an Empath podcast. I love today's topic, which is about EMFs. And as an empathic, sensitive, intuitive, I feel the EMFs that are happening in the world. And as more cell phone satellites go up, especially this 5G satellites, I feel the energetic vibration really strongly. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And I love that there's technology advancements, but I'm also feeling the negative impacts of it as well. So today I brought on DAnna Robinson as my guest because she is all about EMF training and transformation. Okay, so DAnna is the founder of Epic Transformations. She's a certified EMF specialist through EMF Solutions and has been a Feng Shui Consultant for over 20 years. And FYI, her Feng Shui is beautiful. I've been to 2 different houses that she has lived in, and the colors, the vibe, all of that is really, really beautiful and in her essence. And I know that's what she helps others with too. So she employs Feng Shui principles and modern day energy tools to harmonize you, your home, and even your car from harmful electromagnetic EMF radiation. So please welcome DAnna.
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I've been really looking forward to sharing what everything I can about EMFs and just helping people to feel better so that they're not, feeling the crazy effects that these EMFs are having on so many people.
Mm-hmm. And talk to us about EMFs. What are they? Where do they come from? Start there, please.
Great. And you mentioned a couple of them. So EMFs, electromagnetic fields, radiation, and they come from our cell phones. They come from our smartphone, our smart meters. Of course, they come from the new towers and 5G. And they come from all these wonderful technologies that we have that make things go really fast. All the Bluetooth, all the Wi-Fi, all those kinds of things. Of course, the Wi-Fi router is very strong too. And anything that you add to boost your TV, like Roku or Fire Stick, any of those things have very strong EMF frequencies that are very disturbing to the energetic field of a person.
And how do those disturbances present themselves? Like, how does it affect our physical body, our emotions, and mental capacities?
Well, for some, not everybody, but I would say, I'm going to say at least a minimum of 25% of the people that I work with are reporting symptoms since they feel anxious, nervous, increased depression, or shaking, a literal shaking in their body. Some people experience like their hands get kind of almost hot when they're touching a phone, and they can't even hardly touch a phone. Or there's like energy that was going down their legs, up their arms. Those are some of the symptoms that they're like reporting. But even the symptoms that they're not reporting, there's now 10,000 studies on the dangers of EMF. There's 4,000 studies alone on bioinitiative.org. So what they're reporting with these studies, there's a very high increase in cancer, lower sperm count, alarmingly so, with men. Alzheimer's increases, diabetes increases. Children are 2 times more affected by EMFs than adults because they're little, tiny little people, and little tiny people, little peeps. And when a woman has a baby in her stomach, the fetus is 10 times more affected by the EMF radiation. So anytime I'm working with a pregnant woman, it's like, let's get you covered. Let's make sure that you are protected, because otherwise there can be, all kinds of problems with the newborn baby. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's big, and that list that I gave you, it's even not even conclusive. I have people that call me and it's like they go, I just feel out of sorts. I don't know. It's just like my head hurts, and that's another thing. People's head hurts a lot with the EMFs, because think about it, especially when a person wears anything wireless in their ears. Because here's the thing: the Bluetooth devices is sending a constant signal into your brain, and the ear canals are very fragile. They're like little fine china. So the increase in tumors in the ear region has increased dramatically, according to one of the doctors that has reported that. Dr. Derek Taylor has reported that to me with his patients. So, it's a lot. And, another time when I see anybody that wears a Fitbit or a smartwatch, they're just radiating themselves 24/7. And that's very,
wow.
yeah. So it's all I can do to not say anything to somebody when I see somebody out in public and I see them wearing.
You're like, stop!
No, take it off. But it's like I have to be asked for help. I can't just volunteer it,
Mm-hmm.
I've already tried that. And it's like, no, people have to just get on board with it. Even sometimes, even after I've given the education to some people, they're more attached to having their smartwatch than their health. But it's like, okay, at least I've given them the information.
Mm-hmm. I know for me, I have felt the energy from the Bluetooth, which is why I so very rarely put the Bluetooth pods in my ear. Like, it's not convenient to be wired
No, it isn't.
in.
Right.
It sucks. I hate being wired in, but I feel like my head is foggier when I have the Bluetooth in, for especially if it's anything longer than, say, even 15 minutes. Like, I notice a diminishment of my clarity.
Well, actually, what you just mentioned, Tiffany, brain fog is another symptom I didn't mention. That's very, very common, brain fog.
And like the waves.
The waves. I mean, they're. See, here's the thing: this technology, this man-made technology, it's pulsating energy, so it's constantly doing like this, like the smart meter. Same thing. It's just like thousands per day. And when you have these, it's just so you're getting that in your brain. So it's boom, boom, boom. Because here's the thing: is the EMF man-made technologies creates a chaos, actually, literally chaos, and people feel more chaotic. And people literally are feeling like jingly jangling, because literally their body really is being shook up. It's kind of like putting yourself in a microwave oven. And when a house that's not remediated has a lot of, all these devices in the house, you're like in a toxic soup. And just when you put food in a microwave and you can see, the protons are hitting up the food really fast, creating heat. Well, when you're unremediated, that's like you're sitting in a microwave in your house.
And I feel that chaos sometimes. I feel the waves going through my nervous system, and that chaos and anxiety energy that goes with it. There have been days where I was like, can I just go take a nap in a Faraday cage? Like, do they make them? And so Oh, hi.
Little body wraps, like a little dummy. There she is under her little cage. There she is. I tell you what, there's devices we could definitely help so that you're not experiencing this anymore. And I'm looking forward to helping you.
and I have installed some of DAnna's devices in my house and on the outside of my house, because I do think that it's important for us to guard and protect our health and our mental capacities, because unless we're living out in the desert or some rural energy with very little electromagnetic energies, we're susceptible to this stuff. And
yes.
yeah, and it's even more so for people in metro areas.
Way worse, and especially if you're in an apartment building, because then you have their routers coming down on your head, and then people on the side, people below. I mean, and that's why when there's a lot of condensation of, concentration, I should say, of a lot of people being all around you, your susceptibility to EMF toxicity goes up dramatically. And yes, when you're in the country, it's better. And they are installing, these towers, sometimes right in front of your house, out in the rural area as well. And also the satellites that are coming down, they're beaming the laser right down. So, and they're going up left and right. And that's why we've actually had to use twice the amount of EMF devices to remediate a house. Where we used to use one, what called a home harmonizer, now we're needing to use two. Just this year. Yeah. So.
And talk to me about the 5G towers that have been going up all over the place. I've heard and read many things about the toxicity of the 5G being much, 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 much worse than the 4G or the 3G version for our cell phones. Do you have any insight on that or studies that you've seen?
Well, with the 5G, it affects the oxygen molecules, which is why there can be a feeling of losing one's breath with 5G, where 4G is more, it affects the water molecules. So, and the energy is stronger with the 5G. So the good news is that even if it's in your front yard, they actually can be remediated, because what all the EMF devices, the 5G and towers and all the other things I just mentioned, they create like a chaotic field, as I referenced it a few moments ago. So what we do is we harmonize that chaotic field. And so instead of going like this, where it's just like singing and zanging like that, we put it into a kind of a harmonic field. So everything just kind of smooths like that. So it just kind of goes zoop. So it's not having, that toxic effect. It's not having that pounding on our body, because that's really what it's doing. It's pounding our body. So then it takes that off and it puts it in like a subtle field of like a magnetic field.
So it basically goes from like this zigzag wave into more of like a straight line
Correct.
Wave of harmony. Okay, so talk to me about your 3-step EMF remediating process.
And the great news is I'm able to do it virtually, which is great, especially, since we've all been home so much more. And about 90% of people I do work with virtually. So here's the 3-step. The first step is I educate you on the dangers of EMF and give you, the science and facts behind it, and how all that's, how it all works. And then the next step is I do an EMF remediation, like assessment. So sometimes people will walk me around their house and show me what they have. Other times they'll just tell me what they have. And why I'm able to remediate it is because of this very simple factor. The phones that you and I are talking on this laptop here, it's emitting approximately over 2,000 milliwatts per meter squared. The safe level, according to the Bioinitiative, is 30. milliwatts per meter squared. So when I do an assessment, I know what it's doing to your body, and I know how to remediate it. So we'll just go through the checklist. We go through a priority, what's first, what's second, what's third. And then I provide you simple solutions. Sometimes we do it all at once, depending on spending, preferences. Sometimes we do it in phase 1, phase 2. The more we can get, especially anybody that's EMF sensitive like you, if we need to get it at 100%, because then you will really feel the difference. So, with all the devices that you have with, any other lots of extra technology, then each thing really needs to be fixed, and you'll feel a world of difference.
Mm-hmm. So you consulted me where I put it on my cell phone, I put it on my laptop, I put some gadget gizmo thingy on the outside of my house near the power box. Can you talk to people about the different types of ways that we can, help our various equipment that we've got going on?
Would you like me to do a show and tell?
Yes, and describe it auditorily as well for our podcasters, please.
Okay, so we have this this gray box. It's about, 4x4, something like that. And what we do is we either we put it right next to it goes outside. It's installed next to your smart meter or analog meter, whatever meter you have outside. We have this, there's a metal bracket piece, looks like that. And we have that touching or close to the metal smart meter. Or if you have a pipe, then we put this through the pipe like that. So there's 2 ways that we do it. We just recently came out with what is called an extra large home harmonizer. So it's kind of like 2-in-1, but much larger. So just because
so instead of like 4 inches by 4 inches, it's like 6 or 8 inches.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yes. It's bigger. It's bigger. And that way, rather than having to put it 2, you just put up 1. So it's a little bit more compact in the end. But
okay.
Very powerful. So that's always step 1. And along with step 1 is we also use this. There's a device clip. It's a little 1-inch cube, and there's a clip, and we clip that right next to the Wi-Fi router, kind of like if that was the router and that's the cord. We just clip it right next to it. Okay. And what that does is it remediates within about 1 to 2 inches of the field. When we do the home harmonizer, what it does is it creates a general harmonic field throughout the entire home within about 10 to 15 feet of anything that's super strong, like your Wi-Fi router and these Bluetooth devices, things like that.
So the clip lasts for 10 to 15 feet radius?
The clip remediates it to 1 inch. Without the clip, you're still having an EMF frequency radiating from, let's say, the Wi-Fi router out about 10 to 15 feet.
Oh, okay. So reverse. All right. So it shrinks the EMF from 10 to 15 feet around my Wi-Fi router down to 1 inch around my Wi-Fi router. Okay. And you hooked me up with one of those. Okay, good. Check. Yeah. I'm going in the right direction. All right. What else is in your goodie bag?
Now, I do want to say, Tiffany, that where we place the home harmonizer is important. And sometimes we sometimes have to move it. If we're not seeing a shift, that means where we've located it isn't optimal for you and your home. Sometimes we might move it. So in your case, if we put it on a pipe, then we're going to put it right next to the meter. And people notice the difference when we finally have gotten it. I just recently had to have a woman change and she goes, oh my God, I can really feel a difference. So that was good. The other thing in the first step when we're working in a home, we have a home bundle. So within the home bundle is this thing called Better Z's. It's this little like blue, small little, almost looks like a little pillow, about 8 by 8. It's filled with the product. Because metal draws in EMFs, we put that in the bed where a person sleeps if they have box springs, or if they have a metal frame or anything like that, we put it between the mattress and the box spring. So that's always step one. The next step is we fix the phone, and this is what it looks like. There's a chip here, about a 3-inch little chip that's very hardy. And this, by the way, these products are meant to last for decades. And that remediates the phone. And then we have 2 devices for laptops that go under your laptop. They're, again, the little chips, little chips, and they just go right underneath it. So, and then now the device clip that I mentioned, that's kind of like our aspirin. We use those a lot all throughout the house. Anytime, if there's fans, baby monitors, as I mentioned earlier, of course, the Wi-Fi, all the any Bluetooth, any Wi-Fi, anything, then we use those. And sometimes people have a lot. And so, so when you have a lot, or if you're EMF sensitive, and these different, even a camera, perhaps, depending on the frequency. Sometimes we can also put just a room harmonizer, even in your space, that looks like this. It's a little plug-in. And
so that room harmonizer is about the size of a light bulb, and you just plug that into the wall. So if someone's living in an apartment complex rather than a home, they would use the room harmonizer instead, correct?
That's right. So the condo kit comes with 2 room harmonizers. So we usually need a minimum 2. But again, because of the increased frequencies, we might need 3, possibly even 4, depending on how big the apartment is. You know, we always just start with, let's just see how you do with the 2. If you're not noticing any shifts, you're still feeling some bio effects, some health effects, then we just add another one until you feel harmonized, until you feel better. That's when we know we got it, when you're feeling better. But if you're feeling any effects at all, we haven't gotten it all. Either we haven't placed the home harmonizer optimally where it needs to be, or there's not enough. One may not be enough anymore. Let's see what else. Oh yes. Then what's lovely is we even have little devices which we can wear to put a bubble of harmony around us. And here's this one is a little band. It's made from the Fitbit band, but not a Fitbit. We put our product in it. This one is a white one, and we have they come in black, more kind of, some people really like the black.
So you can wear a white or black wristband that helps to harmonize your body.
Right.
Okay.
And it really makes a difference for people. And then we also have this personal card that can go in the back pocket. So, you know, we start people off with one, but again, because of the satellites coming down, a lot of people are finding that they feel much better with 2. It depends on the sensitivity of the person. And just something I actually want to point out, even if a person like me, I don't feel those sensitivities that many of my clients do, but I have everything remediated, you know, from top to bottom. Okay, let's see. What was my point? Must have been really important. It'll come to me. But I think it had to do with the personal devices. But yeah, so the personal devices is just one more thing that we recommend, especially when you go outside or you're around any other devices, or you go shopping in the grocery stores, or any place where you go. It's really welcome to wear 2.
And the one that's on your wrist, doesn't matter if it's like your dominant or non-dominant hand?
It doesn't matter, although a lady that I was working with was feeling some energy from, she was, you know, touching her little mouse. So I had her put it on the hand where she was right-handed. So I had her move it from her left hand to her right hand, and she felt better.
Okay.
They're very powerful. You know, here's how we know our products really work, EMF Solutions products. It's because we get so many testimonies of people feeling better. You know, once we've nailed it, once we've gotten everything that the person needs, their symptoms often go, either they lessen or they go away, you know, where their head is hurting, all of a sudden it's gone, or maybe they haven't been sleeping, they're sleeping better now, or maybe they feel more peaceful. Like I've remediated places, and then as I'm doing it, they can feel the calm actually while I'm there. Those are, again, the super sensitive people, the empathic people.
And can you also put something on, say, a Bluetooth keyboard?
Yes, that would be the laptop chips. These guys that look like this.
Okay.
Yeah, they go right underneath on the left and on the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So it's oh, I want to share this study because I just feel it's important, because one of the things we cannot remediate is a person, and I was talking about this earlier about people wearing smartwatches and Fitbits. And I had a lady who, slept 24/7 with her Fitbit, and she was having all kinds of symptoms. And I said, okay, here's the deal. Let's just go in slowly. Let's do these things. And then, maybe in a week, just try taking your Fitbit off for a little while. Do you know it made a dramatic difference? And now she's sleeping great. I mean, getting goosebumps just talking about that, because it made a dramatic difference, or a person who couldn't hardly touch their phone. We put a little cell phone chip on the back, and all of a sudden, wow, they're not getting these crazy symptoms. So here's a tip. If you're feeling anything unlike yourself and your body just has like strange symptoms, most likely you're being subject to EMF toxicity.
Mm.
And if we just start putting things like personal devices on a person, they just often feel so much better.
Wow. Thank you so much. So if anybody wants to connect with you beyond this podcast and get perhaps a consultation, do you offer a freebie gift of a consult?
I do. Absolutely, I do. You can book online or actually text me. If you want to text me directly, my text number is, and my number is 858-692-0917, and you can book an online virtual 1-hour appointment with me, or better yet, go to my website. I have a booking calendar. My website is epictransformations.net. That's epictransformations.net. You'll see a calendar there. You'll see a whole section of EMF radiation. My blog has all kinds of research on it that's showing how the products work and so forth. So it would be my delight to help you. If I can just help one person, inspire one person, and have their body feel better, then our time together has been worth it.
Thank you so much. And I'll put the URL in the show notes for everyone to make it easy. Thank you very much, DAnna. I appreciate it. I know that it's important for us to be mindful of what's happening in our environment. A couple of episodes ago, I had a speaker who talks about like all the toxicity in our environment, not just the EMFs, but even if we only focused on one thing right now and start clearing out the dangerous EMF frequencies to our health and vitality, it could make a difference.
Makes a huge difference. Tiffany, it's the largest invisible toxin that we're exposed to today, bar none. If you put everything under it, like, bad water, GMO food, all of that, nothing is affecting us to the degree that this EMF toxicity is. It's making people sick or not feeling well. So, but the good news is we have solutions. That's what I love. It's not just giving you, it's not, really affecting you. We can actually do something about it. And that's my joy, to be able to help you.
And can you also give us a good website or two about the research studies?
Yes. One of the best websites is bioinitiative.org. They have 4,000 studies on their website. There's another study that you'll find on my website. It's called the Reflex Study. It was a study done in 2004 by Franz Otto. And basically he was comparing the DNA damage with direct damage from an X-ray, comparing it to DNA damage from our cell phone. And they had 12 researchers and 7 European countries. And at the end of the day, the study reported that being on your cell phone or like your smartphone or like a smart watch is equivalent to having 1,600 X-rays. 24 hours on your phone is equivalent to 1,600 chest X-rays.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot.
I know. That's why I keep talking about don't wear your cute smartwatch. It's making you sick. Don't put Bluetooth earbuds in your phone. It's creating tumors and it's frying your brain. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for guiding us to where we can find the research, and I will put those URLs into the show notes as well so that everyone can do their own research. And I'd recommend getting a free consultation call with DAnna so that she can, help you start becoming aware of and how to remediate those EMF energies out of your life and fix your technology too.
Yay. Yeah, let's get her fixed. Let's get her done, and you'll feel so much better. You'll have more energy. It's like, yay. It can be that dramatic.
Aw, thank you so much. Love and blessings to everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. And thank you again, Tiffany, for inviting me on your wonderful show. Such an honor to spend time with you, my love.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to Soul of an Empath with Tiffany Cano. If you enjoyed this show, please rate and recommend it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you are listening to it. You can get more information from soulofanempath.com. May you be blessed with love, health, peace, joy, spiritual oneness, prosperity, and abundance. So be it. So be it. So be it.